I'm Midnight Agent Raw.
And I'm Okame.
We are the Super Media Bros podcast, and we are founding members of the OddPods Media Network.
Hi, I'm Lauren.
And I'm John.
And we host the Beard Owl podcast, the podcast where we talk about two of the greatest things in the world, beer and Weird Al.
And a bunch of other stuff.
That's right. Do you like nostalgia? Do you like sibling banter? Do you like beer? Do you like Weird Al? Are you human?
If you answered yes to any of those questions, give us a listen. Become one of our loyal commenters.
Super Media Bros.
Welcome to episode 191 of the Super Media Bros podcast. I'm Midnight Agent Raw. This week we're pulling one from our now defunct Patreon vault to bring you some concert stories. This is a recording that I remembered recently and I thought, you know what, this would be something cool to just release. You've heard our For Your Reviewing Pleasure episodes on albums. You've probably heard some of our episodes where we've actually covered concerts that we've gone to, but we're going to go a little deeper in this one. And this was recorded back in 2019 or 2018, one of the two. That's how long it's been. And in this, we just kind of recount various concerts that we've attended over the years, be it together or separately, from our childhood to today. And along with that, you get to hear the slightly less than stellar audio recording, so hopefully that's not too much of a deterrent for you in listening. But at the time when we were doing our Patreon, we were literally offering raw and uncut audio. But I went back and I cleaned it up a little bit as best as I could, given, with what we had at the time, to be able to bring it to you this week. So sit back, relax, and enjoy our concert stories.
Super Media Bros.
We're going to talk about some rock concerts that we've attended and other music concerts that we've attended. Just concerts.
Just music.
Yeah. Because we have
Shows.
stories. Yeah, we have stories separately together and
Everything in between.
Yeah. How do we do this? Do we flip a coin? Do we just bullshit? Do we just start with a year? Like, what was your first concert? Do you remember, like, what your actual first concert was? I don't mean, like, hey, I saw this band at, which locally down here, there's, like, a festival called Contraband Days, which is called Pirate Festival now, which
There's this trash fest.
Yeah, there's a ton of festivals. There's Contraband, there's Rabbit Festival, and...
We have, if there's a thing in Louisiana, there's a festival for it.
Exactly.
Duck Festival, Rabbit Festival, Rice Festival, trash. Yeah. But my actual first concert, I was too young to understand basically at the time because I didn't listen to the music. I was with my mom and my stepdad, and they brought one of my cousins too. Went seeing Leonard Skinner and ZZ Top. And that was, 93, 94, I think it was.
Holy shit.
I don't remember the actual year. But the only thing I remember of that concert was me complaining, this is too fucking loud.
Dude, I remember, now that it's funny you say that, I think the actual first thing I remember, and it was still local, and I still consider them concerts, because like, in the 90s, you have to think, we had some actual, like, pretty big talent names that would come through. Kenny Wayne Shepard. Dude, I don't know. It was like it had to be like 1997, 98. And I think Beth Hart opened for him. It's just random ass duo of people. But Kenny Wayne Shepard, I remember this very specifically. He fucking had the flu that night when he played. And I remember that was like the talk of the whole fucking night. It's like, oh, he's got the flu. He's running like 102-degree fever and he's on stage. And I'm not even going to lie. I didn't know who the fuck Kenny Wayne Shepard was at the time. It was my actual discovery of who he was because, again, it was another concert put on at the Rosa Hart Theater. And I didn't give a flying fuck. And we were sitting in the fucking, like, orchestra pit.
Right, the orchestra pit, yeah.
So basically, I stared at the fucking wall that was the bottom of the stage. And it was, at the time, I think like a 12-foot fucking high thing. So I was looking up, and only when anyone would like maybe walk to the front of the stage could I catch a glimpse of like a nose or like a fucking fingernail or something like that. I mean, that was about it.
A finger pointing out. Yeah.
I mean, pretty much.
It's Kenny's finger.
And I think like a year or so after that was Johnny Lang, which that was a fucking badass concert. Johnny Lang is awesome. And I knew who he was, so.
That reminds me, like, every year at the Rice Festival when I was growing up, I always hear people saying, oh, Wayne Toops is playing live. Every fucking time. And
Cocaine Wayne.
Cocaine, that's his reputation now, is Cocaine Wayne. But apparently back in the day, he was the shit. Now he's just actual shit.
He's Wayne Soups now.
Yeah, because he's just melting into a bowl of soup. But yeah, that was just random how he always played at the local festivals out here. Just every single one.
Still fucking does, dude.
Yeah. Still with his accordion. But like I said, that was my first remembering a concert days. The actual concert that I first went to willingly was Steve Vai.
Fuck yeah.
This was back in high school. I think it was like 2002, if I'm not mistaken, 2003. It was me, my best friend at the time, and a coworker of ours, all piled up into my 3-seat truck, basically, a little Chevy truck, and drove from pretty much Crowley, Louisiana, all the way to New Orleans, which is about a 2.5, 3 hour trip, basically. Well, concert was great and everything like that. You know, woohoo, Steve Vai's awesome, blah, 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 whatever. The funny part about this was I drove all the way there and all the way back. Like, no stops, no nothing.
Oh, shit.
At that point, the concert was done. It was close to like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning.
Fuck that. I say fuck that, but
yeah,
me and you have done worse.
Oh, trust me. There was a point that I got so tired that I was just in and out of like just reality, basically. The other two were sleeping, so they weren't paying attention where I was going. I ended up taking an exit to like basically get my bearings straight or get like something to wake me up. I ended up going too far north towards Hammond. When one of my friends woke up, I was like, where are we at? I was like, I just took a pit stop real quick because I'm trying to find a gas station between where the actual interstate was and where I was, going. And he looked up the signs like, you're going towards Hammond. I'm like, oh, shit.
You did the thing in Dumb and Dumber when fucking Harry falls asleep and Lloyd drives them all the way into fucking Nebraska.
Yeah, it pretty much felt like that. So I wasted a good 15 minutes going to that point that far and then another 15 minutes driving back to the interstate. So that's another half hour that I lost.
I thought the Swampy Mountains would be a little swampier than this.
Yeah, pretty much. I ended up not getting back into Lafayette to drop off my friend, my coworker, until like 5 a.m., close to 5:30. And I mean, the sun was coming up at this point. So it was like, who the fuck knows what sleep is?
I know that feeling very well. Okay, so the first concerts that I willingly went to, one again was like a local thing here in town, but I'll get to the real shebang like after this one. There was this fucking tour called the Rock Never Stops Tour. I think it was like 1998. It was fucking Slaughter, Warrant, and Quiet Riot.
Okay, I'm digging it.
It was a great fucking show, dude. And this was like right whenever I was like a little bit of history is like I was like into any kind of music or whatever. I listened to everything. I really gravitated towards like EDM and hip hop like in 1994, 95, 96, all that shit. But then like I got really like put on to like classic rock and shit like that. So I was listening to every fucking like 80s metal band you could think of. And when I was like 12 years old, then another concert like my dad and them would put on at the rock station out here. Anyway, so I got to meet the drummer from Quiet Riot. He was really fucking cool, but it was just crazy because I remembered Slaughter from the Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey soundtrack. So I was all about hearing them play Shout It Out live. So I was fucking screaming my ass off to that. I was screaming my ass off to Come On Feel the Noise and fucking Cherry Pie and all the shit that, all these bands were doing. And I remember, I think it dawned on me at that moment. I was like, these guys are past their prime because they only filled the floor of the Civic Center. And the Civic Center holds maybe like 1,500 people at the best, like maybe 2,000.
Like that, yeah. And
they only filled the floor. I was like, fuck. I think that was like when it dawned on me. I was like, no, these guys used to play bigger stadiums than this shit.
Yeah, there's like a little like hole in the wall compared to what they're used to.
Yeah. And then flash forward 3 years later to 2001, I go to see AC/DC in 2001 on the Stiff Upper Lip tour with Slash's Snake Pit. And Slash's Snake Pit was a band that Slash from Guns N' Roses had done. I think John Corabi may have been in the band if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, it was at the time, Me being as young as I was, it was the most god-awful shit ever. And then AC/DC comes on and just fucking wrecks shop. Now, mind you, the reason I think this concert is so special, first off, it's AC/DC, and they are fucking badass. I don't give a shit what anybody says. Those guys still fucking kick ass. And this was 18 years ago, so they're still doing it to this day and still doing well. Now, the reason why I think this story is so special is because this is in the Compaq Center in Houston. Now, if anybody knows the history of the Compaq Center in Houston, it is now the fucking Joel Osteen Church.
Oh,
So I got to hail Satan in a fucking church.
there you go. Fuck that.
Exactly.
Screw you, Joel.
That's right. I got to say, I screamed my ass off to Hell's Bells and all the shit. It was fucking amazing.
Sounds like it. I mean, just for the fact that it went from a Compaq Center to Joel Osteen Church.
And the last thing that I saw there was AC/DC, and I was like, just fuck yeah. If you're gonna like turn into a fucking church, like bring the fucking devil horns on. I don't give a shit. It was fucking awesome.
Angus Young with his schoolboy outfit and that horn sticking out.
Dude, he came out from underneath the stage at one point. They had this like center walkway that would go out into the crowd, and they dropped the bell with the big fucking hammer on the side of it. Brian ran and jumped on the rope and swung, like he would swing out into the crowd on the rope, and it would ding the bell, and he would hit it with the oh fuck, it was amazing.
I can't imagine him doing that shit now.
He still does it.
Wow, really?
He's 70, dude. But I still would like to see them again.
With me, fast forward to, I think it was 2005 or 6. No, it was 2006 or 7, one of the two. It was somewhere in the late 2000s that I remember this. It was me and my girlfriend at the time. We went seeing Creed, Stained, and One. Or whoever the hell the opening act was. I forgot who it was at the time. They were pretty much just like, move them aside. The funniest thing about this whole show, I went into this with the interest of just seeing Stained, and that was pretty much it. At the point that their career was at that time frame, they were great.
You said this was what, 2006, 2007?
Somewhere in the late 2000s. Like
this had to be 2008 because that, or 8 or 9, because I think that's when Creed did their full circle like reunion.
So yeah, I want to say it was late 2000s. So that makes sense. But I went into this expecting to see Stain, do a great show and whatnot. Girlfriend at the time went to go see Creed because she was just obsessed with fucking Creed. I don't know why. That's beside the point. So we're sitting through the first band. Like I said, they're just kind of, dismissible. They're really not that big of a deal. Then Stain hit, and then it was just like, and I know what you're thinking. Stain is opening for Creed. I know. Let that mull over for a second. But they performed so well to me that the whole entire Cajun Dome was just lit up. Everybody was rocking out, singing the songs. We were just like headbanging and shit. Mud Shovel, fucking It's Been a While, all the hits and everything like that. And then Creed walked on the stage, and then guess what? Yeah. My reaction, but at this point, over half the stadium left. So I looked around. There was like so many empty seats now. Once Creed hit the floor, I was just like, well, I paid a lot of money to see this whole show. I'm not going to just get up, all the way through and be done with it, even though I hate Creed.
So how was your experience with Mr. Stapp and the crew?
He just needs a Stapp.
He's the Scott Stapp.
Yeah. I never liked his music. I never liked him. I tried giving their first 2 albums a go, and it was just tolerable to a degree, and that's the best I can give.
Their first album is my actual favorite album, like, from them, and it's the only one that I really enjoy. Like, some tracks from the second one, sure. But as a human being, Scott's a dick.
Yeah.
I really like the other 3 guys a lot. They are fucking really talented musicians, and I thought that Alter Bridge was a really good fucking band.
That I'll give you. I will agree to that.
Like, I feel like he held them back, honestly.
Well, I mean, he's a douche, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
But I thought it was fitting that Creed literally dismissed so much of the freaking Cajun Dome at that point. Like, it's fitting for Scott Stapp's reputation. Fast forward a couple more years. This was in New Orleans. Yes. House of Blues. Wicked Wisdom, which it was front runner of Jada Pinkett Smith.
Yeah.
Which was phenomenal. She's fucking awesome when she sings.
Yes.
Social Burn, Nonpoint, and Seven Dust.
Stutes. Oh, I've got a great Seven Dust story later.
Not so much on the Seven Dust part for me. It was more along the lines of whenever Nonpoint hit the ground. If you never heard Nonpoint, you should stop right now and actually go check them out. They're very Spanish-influenced metal in a way. There's a couple of songs that they sing that's actually in Spanish, but not a whole lot. It's like a track or two per album, maybe at the most. But they're very hardcore. They're very riled up. They're getting everybody pumped up. There was this guy to the right of us that would push me so fucking hard that I let it go for the first time because, they were getting real riled up. The second time he did it again, and I literally pushed him back so fucking hard that he got in my face and tried to confront me about it. My girlfriend grabbed a Wicked Wisdom drumstick off the ground while she was, being trampled. I forgot about that part. She was being trampled by the crowd because everybody was mosh pitting to Nonpoint. And she was on the ground. I was holding her up, trying to make sure she wasn't being, knocked down to the ground. Well, she happened to find a drumstick on the ground.
Oh, shit.
She ended up stabbing the guy in the fucking side of his ribs with the drumstick to get him away from us.
Drumstuck.
Yeah.
So I saw Incubus in 2004. It was the Crow Left of the Murder Tour. Not really so much any funny stories about that one other than it was just a great concert, and Incubus is hands down one of the best live bands I've ever seen in my fucking life. I'm going to kind of dive through from 04 to 07 because I had I had literally had a whole random assortment of shit. So I saw Incubus that year, and I also saw The Used and 30 Seconds to Mars with H2O. The most random lineup because it was supposed to be The Used, Glass. I think Glassjaw or what's it called? No, it was supposed to be. It was the singer from Glassjaw's other band, and I feel stupid that I can't remember the name of it. It was a real dancey project, but anyway, the singer Daryl Palumbo. I couldn't think of his name. He suffers from Crohn's disease, so it flared up, and he couldn't make a few dates or whatever. So I don't remember what band. It was Street Drum Corps. That's who it was. Okay. It was Street Drum Corps had replaced him. So this is the first time I've ever seen or heard of 30 Seconds to Mars, and they were fucking brilliant. That is one of the best from studio to live settings ever because they sound better than they do in the studio, and that's fucking rare.
Yeah, it is.
The Used put on a really great show, although I was disappointed because the Used don't really play long sets. They do maybe 12 or 13 songs, and that's it. But they go hard when they play, so I'm not surprised.
That's what they're used to.
Yeah. So that kind of leans over into, and I'll actually come back to those two specific bands in a little bit, but it leads over into Warped Tour 2005. Now, this was probably the most random assortment of shit, obviously, because it's Warped Tour. The Transplants, which was Travis Barker's band outside of Blink, when Blink had kind of first split in 05 or whatever, it was the Transplants, and then it was a bunch of other bands. I think Census Fail was on that one that year. I saw My Chemical Romance. That was the first time I've seen them. It's the first time I saw Fall Out Boy. Dropkick Murphys. Seosin was on there. I didn't get to catch Seosin, but I actually saw them a couple years later in that other concert I'll mention later. The absolute fucking highlight was I got to meet Travis Barker, and I met him in a really cool way. I was nose down in a fucking itinerary because I didn't feel like looking at the giant blow up one in the middle of the fucking parking lot. And I bumped into this dude in a yellow jacket, and he just kind of put his hand on me, just shoved me out of the way, and I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I just kind of hear this voice, "Hey, get your hand off of him, dude." And I was like, the fuck is that? And next thing I know, I just kind of look over because Travis is actually 6. He's your height, actually. He's 6'1", and I just looked over and I saw this mohawk, and I was like, who the fuck is, oh shit, and he was like, dude, come see. I was like, he's surely not talking to me. Mm-hmm. He was. He felt bad that his security dude roughed me up, and he was the fucking nicest dude ever. That was probably one of the biggest highlights of my entire fucking life, was because I played drums and he's one of my favorites, but he was fucking cool, man. We talked drums for 5-10 minutes. Just he was walking to his bus, which was for some reason parked across the fucking way from where the stages were. But he was like, man, come by the fucking booth later. We're going to be doing autographs and all this other shit. And I was like, dude, I honestly, I would, but this was enough. Mm-hmm. This was absolutely fucking enough for me.
Yeah.
And now this is before the time of hey, we have cell phones that can take photos and actually really good photos. So I have memories from that, and that was cool.
Yeah.
But then fast forward to 2007, which was the Taste of Chaos tour. 30 Seconds to Mars, The Used, are the headliners. There was Seosin, Chiodo, Census Fail, and Aiden, which every one of these bands had something cool to offer. They were all fucking awesome. Seosin, aside 30 Seconds to Mars and Used were great, but Seosin was absolutely the band of the fucking night.
Now that we're talking more and more. From 2010 to 2012, there's actually 2 events that I went to. One of them was Shoutfest in Lafayette, and that was pretty much the Christian rock era that I was more involved in back then. The only real reason I went to see anybody there was Nonetheless was playing. And at that point, I really liked their music. The only two highlights of that whole entire festival were, well, three. One, I met most of the artists there, which is pretty cool. The second one was, I can't remember the name of the band, but they were very much like Dropkick Murphy. They were very Irish and very, rock hard kind of stuff. Well, they would get everybody riled up in the crowd, and it started raining that day, like right in the middle of all the sets. So there was a portion of one of the stages that was just completely muddied over and shit. Well, whenever they got on and played, everybody got so riled up that they told them, hey, start doing a mosh pit here in the mud and have some fun. Dude, everybody was diving in the mud and sliding around like a slip and slide and everything like that. Even the singer got down off the stage and started slip and sliding with us. Like, it was so much fun. Even Nonetheless came and helped. Like, they played around too, and it was really fun. So that was pretty cool. And then the very tail end show was Skillet, which I had gone seen because my girlfriend at the time, she was really into the band, but she couldn't go. So I was going to get her like an autograph picture, whatever I can get. Well, everybody had their own booth except for them. And they were pretty much the last set. And it was like 11 o'clock, 11:30 when they were finished. And they got on their bus, and there was like a group of like 15 of us that were just waiting at their table, literally just hoping that they would come out to, sign and, take pictures and whatnot. So we all started chanting, Skillet, Skillet, Skillet real loud. Mm-hmm. Well, they all started to come out, and they lined up at the table. And at this point, it started to rain a little bit again. So not only were they being basically kind of in a way forced to come out, now they're rushing us to get through all the autographs because it started to rain a little bit. Well, I was able to take a picture with them and whatnot, but the poster that I got signed for my girlfriend, the marker actually didn't settle well because the moisture. So there was like a little bit of like John's signature in there, and then everybody else was kind of like a little bit faded, so you couldn't hardly see it. But it was obviously there, and I actually had pictures and everything to prove that I did get him signed.
A little bit of marker, not so light.
So that happened. The next show we went to at that point was Party by the Pool. That was Sublime with Rome and 311, which was a fun show. I wasn't really into Sublime as much as I was 311. Very heavy weed influence there. I will say that much.
Yeah.
Because pretty much there's like a fog of just weed in there.
Dude, okay, so not to cut you off, but that reminded me that AC/DC show that I went to, they had pyro, okay? So I was laughing my ass off because like that was the first time I knew what weed was, and I absolutely knew what to smell for, and I knew what it was just because I could smell it. Mm-hmm. My mom was like, what the fuck is that smell? And I was like,
you don't want to know.
I was like, that's fucking pot, Mom. And me and my dad were laughing because after the pyro gets finished, you just look and they turn the house lights on and there's just a fucking mushroom cloud in the middle of the fucking arena.
Yep.
I got contact high at Joel Osteen's church.
Makes the night even better.
That's it. Anyway, I'm sorry.
Well, no, I mean, it was a good show. 311 put on a really fantastic show for me. So that was really cool.
They're really good live.
Oh, yeah. Very energetic, very fun. I mean, I was only able to record anything off my iPod Nano at the time, so it was very shitty quality.
Wow, that's old.
Yeah. So I still have the pictures somewhere. I don't know where they're at, honestly, but yeah, it was very poor quality at that point, but I was able to get something. Yeah, that's pretty much the gist of that era for me.
I'm gonna say like era for me. Like it's more of my concert experiences are gonna start getting into like bands that I've seen multiple times. I'm gonna get these like really local shit out the way. Like, okay, we saw Counting Crows. They were fucking awesome. Saw Candlebox with Toad the Wet Sprocket. That was a fucking show. Went to BuzzFest, which is a festival they do every April here in Houston. I went there in 2013. Now, the lineup from opener to closer was Sick Puppies, Papa Roach, Stone Sour, Bush, and Shinedown. I loved every fucking band, and I left when Shinedown came on stage because fuck that band.
And see, we had this discussion before the show. I thought they were okay to a certain point of their career. Other than that, I mean, I don't really care for any of their new shit.
What killed it for me was Look, I get putting a rock show together. I get, hey, choreography where it's like, hey, when I stand over here, this is when you hit this spotlight on me or whatever the fuck it is. But the entire show felt too choreographed. I was like, I'm not seeing Backstreet Boys or New Kids on the Block, which I actually saw NKOTBSB, the New Kids and Backstreet Boys tour, which was actually really fucking good. And anyway, like that's what put me off about Shinedown. I was like, oh God, like I really was going to give you a chance, but then I saw you live and it just was disgusting. I didn't like it.
And see, I saw them in Dog Jam, I think within that 2010 era, if I'm not mistaken. And it was them, Breaking Benjamin, Stain.
Breaking Benjamin's fucking awesome.
Yeah, Blackstone Cherry and Hinder. Which, yeah, that was probably the sourest point the whole fucking show. Because they were just such a joke. Like, I couldn't stand that Lips of an Angel song.
Lips on my anus.
I cannot stand that fucking song anymore. Like, it is just that ingrained in my brain that is just so... I hate his voice.
I don't like his voice either, dude. He sounds like he's got a permanent turd in his throat.
No, he sounds like he's constipated like 24/7.
That's because there's turds in his throat. That's because there's turds in his throat. He's that constipated.
Yeah.
He's back that far up.
But yeah, everybody else puts on a fantastic show. And Stain, the second time in a row, yet again, performed fantastically.
They're good live.
Just Hinder was total crap. Like, no joke.
They were hindered.
Yeah, they hindered everything else.
Exactly. Oh, Coheed and Cambria.
Oh yeah,
I saw them I saw them with Avenged Sevenfold in 2006. Now I know what you're thinking.
Ew.
Avenged Sevenfold. Ew. And this is where the whole Shinedown opposite end comes in. I remembered them from I think it was, what was it, Awaken the Fallen or some shit like that. I don't know what fucking album it was. But they just came off of that album and they just put City of Evil out. And I was like, okay, I see what they're going for. I see what they're trying to do. I liked them okay. Not so much later on down the road, but that's another story for another day.
Yeah.
This was Coheed and Cambria's headlining tour for Good Apollo Volume 1. It was a Good Apollo 4 Volume 1 from Fear Through the Eyes of Madness. Excellent tour, excellent album, excellent live band. I saw Coheed that night and then again 10 years later in 2016 with Saves the Day in New Orleans, which was a fantastic fucking show once again. Nothing more to say other than like Coheed and Cambria is just really good live, and that's all there is to say about it. 2007, I saw Blue October live. They were really good. Blue October is probably one of the more underrated bands out there because they're just good.
Yeah.
I saw Seven Dust with Lacuna Coil and Avatar in Lafayette, 2014. Was it 2014?
2013. Because I wanted to go to that show, but I ended up not being able to go for obvious reasons at the time.
My friend Chance had met Mark Phillips from Creed and Mark Tremonti on a Disney cruise of all fucking places, and got to be buddies with them, and in turn became kind of like online buddies with Clint Lowry. So next thing I know, he's calling me and he's like, hey man, me and his future brother-in-law, his brother-in-law now, it's like, hey, me and Moon are going to see the fucking LJ and the guys in Seven Dust in Lafayette. Do you want to go with us? I said, sure. Well, he texted me back later. He said, hey, Clint just comped us VIP. We're going to actually go hang out with them afterwards. I was like, fuck yeah. So, dude, I got to hang out with like Morgan, LJ, Clint, like fucking awesome guys. I mean, aside from the show being really good, and especially like Avatar being like this Swedish metal band that I'd never heard of, and they were fucking amazing, and Lacuna Coil was just fucking badass. Dude, those were some of the nicest dudes ever. And it was so crazy hearing Morgan, the drummer, Morgan Rose from Seven Dust. We were like, well, what would you be doing if you weren't doing this? He was like, man, I'd be playing fucking baseball for the Marlins. I was like, seriously? He's like, fuck yeah. He's like, I go, like, apparently him, Clint, and Scott from Creed go golfing all the time.
Huh.
I guess that's the thing to do in Florida. You either play baseball or you play golf.
Or you play in a rock band.
Yeah, any of that shit.
Well, 2013, I got to see two shows. One, my favorite band of all time, Amberlin in February. They were at the Houston House of Blues. Like I said, they were doing the Tour de Vital set, and it was fantastic. The highlight of the show for me was whenever Steven was on the guardrail, and I can't remember what song he was performing, but he would lean into the crowd. One of the guys in front of him was holding him up by his hand, and he was screaming the song in our faces. Like, that's how like close he was to me. I tried to like, be the fanboy and like, oh my God, it's Steven. No. Somebody
grab your dick.
Somebody fucking slapped my hand out of the way. I was like, bitch.
Oh.
I wanted to see who the fuck it was, but I couldn't because I was too excited to see Steven right in front of me.
You gonna catch these hands, bitch.
Well, yeah. Caught my hand too.
Yeah, no shit.
But yeah, that was, like I said, such a great show that I'm so glad I was able to catch, before everything went down when they split up basically years later. And then we fast forward to, I think it was June or August, one of the two, Party Body Pool, and it was the Wallflowers. Now, the funny part about that show was when they were playing 6th Avenue Heartache, and I have this on video somewhere. They were right in the middle of the chorus, and you see Jacob just like do this like hand gesture, like a cup like motion over the face. And he was looking at somebody while doing it, and he goes, "Your lens cap's on."
Oh shit!
Somebody was taking pictures and had the lens cap on. He was just pointing out to the person in the front. I was like, "Yeah, your lens cap's
I hope
still
they
on."
weren't paying this guy to do it.
I don't know.
Like if it was their photographer, hey, like your lens cap's on, you just ruined the rest of the night for us. Like fuck.
Yeah, they didn't specify. Like I actually had to try and look, but I couldn't see over the people in front of me. But yeah, that was pretty funny. But yeah, they're really great too. Like it's literally transition from like album to live. Like there's little to no difference, honestly.
Hell yeah. That's always the best, dude. I've got a few bands I've seen like that, honestly. Believe it or not, Def Leppard. Def Leppard was really good. I saw them in 2016, and it was them and Styx and Tesla. Like 3 random ass bands you'd never think would be on tour together, but oh god, they all threw the fuck down. I was like, man, I am in a time machine right now because these fuckers are really good.
Yeah.
It was a good nostalgia concert.
Autumn is in the air, the pumpkins are in the patch. And our friends at Manscaped are here to make sure you don't carve your pant pumpkins when you're grooming, if you know what I'm saying. Make sure you're keeping things fresh this fall with the leaders in male grooming and their brand new 4th generation performance package. Boys, get ready for a cuffing season like no other. Take the leap into fall with Manscaped by joining the 2 million men worldwide that use Manscaped by going to manscaped.com for 20% off and free shipping with the code SUPER. It's time to bundle up with the Manscaped Performance Package 4.0. Inside this package, you'll find their Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, Weed Whacker, ear and nose hair trimmer, Crop Preserver ball deodorant, Crop Reviver toner, Performance boxer briefs, and a travel bag to hold your goodies. First off, the new Performance Package 4.0 includes the new Lawnmower 4.0. If you're looking to cozy up this fall, this trimmer is essential. This 4th generation trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology. It also gives you the ability to turn the 4000K LED spotlight on and off when needed for a more precise shave. Plus, it's waterproof. The Performance Package 4.0 also includes the Weed Whacker to chop up your worst weeds up top in your nose and ear. This nose and ear hair trimmer uses a 9,000 RPM motor-powered 360-degree rotary dual blade system to provide proprietary skin-safe technology which helps prevent nicks, snags, and tugs in those delicate places. Seal the deal with Manscaped's liquid formulations. The Crop Preserver ball deodorant. Season your balls up, because everybody knows pumpkin spice lattes and ball deodorant go hand in hand. Then, after trimming the pumpkin patch and whacking the leaves, give your balls a boost and use the Crop Reviver. Manscaped is even throwing in 2 free gifts to this Performance Package 4.0, the Manscaped Boxer Briefs and the Shed Travel Bag. Get comfy at home and on the go this season. Get 20% off plus free shipping by using our code SUPER at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping using our code SUPER at manscaped.com. Make your balls a priority this fall. Your balls will thank you.
But getting into these bands that I've seen multiple times, and I'm just going to go ahead and get these guys out of the way because it's one of those bands you either like them or you just don't. And that's Him, the Finnish band. So I've seen them when they came to America. I saw them on every major tour they did for every album cycle. I saw them in for the Darklight tour. They toured with Aiden, not my kid, the band.
Sorry to disappoint.
Right. He's not named after the band, by the way. But that was a good show. They covered Black Sabbath, and it was the most like fucking metal thing I have ever fucking seen in my life. And you're probably people listening, they're like, hey, really? Like that's, most people think like Him is like a Hot Topic sissy ass band, but
No.
if you really like dissect their music, they are heavy as shit. Like their riffs are good, their music is fucking heavy, and Valo just has a really good way with lyrics and like vocal melody. And anyway, that's another story again.
Yeah.
Because I could talk about them for a whole fucking show. But anyway, that was fun. I saw them again in 2008 with Bleeding Through. That was cool. Because that was the thing about Him is they always toured with the most random bands because there was nobody that sounded like them. 2010, they toured with fucking when Evanescence broke up and Ben Moody took like 2 or 3 of the members out. with him. It was that band with this chick named Carly from American Idol singing for them, and they were called We Are the Fallen, which was a direct reference to the Fallen album that they did with Evanescence or whatever. So they're playing, okay, and the guitar player goes to walk across the stage, and I mean, have you ever seen Peter Griffin faceplant on Family Guy? How it's just instantaneous on his face? Mm-hmm. This dude, guitar and everything, just fucking went down on his face, and you just hear wah, like the feedback hit like right in the middle of a fucking solo. It was probably the best thing ever.
They're all like, "Yeah, sounds great."
Yeah, because I mean, him are amazing live. So I can't really say much else other than like if you never got to see them before they fucking broke up, then you missed a great show. They did that was the Screamworks tour. So then they toured in 2013 for the Tears on Tape tour with Damen and Anathema, and this was a really cool lineup. Symphonic metal and like goth metal. It's good shit. Then on this last tour, and this is why I was saving this one. The last tour they went on was the Bang and Whimper, where they split. This was their farewell tour. They toured with this band called Three Teeth, and they reminded me so much of like Nine Inch Nails meets Ministry meets KMFDM, dude. It was the fucking weirdest like industrial metal, but it was so good. It was just, the production was clean. The music was really good. And then the next band, CKY.
Which you adore.
I fucking love CKY, but it was really strange because like I've always wanted to see them, but this is the incarnation of CKY without Darren Miller. So this is just Jess, Matt Diaz, and Chad Ginsburg. They still kicked ass for a 3-piece though. So the whole show was just front to back a goddamn pleasure. But yeah, I wanted to get that out of the way because that's some shit I would spend a whole podcast talking about. It's just their fucking career. So
yeah, I remember. In 2014, it was in October, I think it was, because I initially went to go see Chromeo in New Orleans, because at that point I had remembered a friend of mine mentioned them to me whenever I had this like real bad time in my life, and I got so hooked to their music that I just became so obsessed with them. Which, I mean, we share that common interest between me and Richie.
Yep.
Now I found out they were touring in New Orleans. I had to go. Like there was just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So while I bought the ticket for that show, I found out that another band that I liked at the time was playing the day before or 2 days before their show in the same place, Fits and the Tantrums.
Oh yeah, I remember you telling me about this show.
Bruh, first of all, Fits and the Tantrums are like beyond solid group. Like they're just fantastic live. They have the energy, they have the enthusiasm. Noelle Skaggs, she's just amazing. I love her to death. No questions about them. Now, fast forward to, I think it was like Monday night when I went seeing Chromeo. And it was so funny because, they portrayed that, very suave, nerdy, like romance type, like funk music, like on stage. Like they have the keyboards with the leg kickstands on them. They're really cool and everything. They light up and stuff. It was so funny when the curtain was drawn down. You could see one of the shoes, like from the stands, like glowing underneath the curtain. We're like, oh, that's Chromeo right there. I know that shoe. So
I know that shoe.
We know those shoes. So we get to middle of the set, and I'm horrible with memory and stuff. There was this point where there was a group of like 4 or 5 people to my right, and one of them was holding a album, like an actual record of White Women. And I remember him pushing this record into one of the girls next to him. Was like, here, hold this for me. And I looked at him, I was like, what's going on? So he dives in front of the guardrail, which is like a pitch black like walkway between that and the stage. And he's hovering, like trying to find this like moment to pounce, basically like a little cheetah. And he jumps on the stage on all fours, goes across the stage underneath Dave One's legs.
Jesus fuck.
Immediately, as soon as he escapes, you see like 3 or 4 security guards tackle him and drag him off out of the freaking show.
Fuck.
Yeah.
They went to kill his ass.
Yeah, they dove in like freaking, like eagles. Just
kill.
Yeah. But yeah, some of the highlights of that show, minus that part, was seeing Dave One rocking that reflective guitar with the light shining on it.
Yeah.
And him doing like the raise, like while he's doing his solo and stuff. That was pretty cool. What was also funny, he got in this... We were all in the front row. He got in between me and this one girl next to me, and we were both like doing Snapchat selfies, like in front of like all that. And the girl next to me literally just melted. Like, her whole fucking bad day just went away in like 2 seconds because he was literally in her arms. And I'm like, I'm never going to touch that man again. That was the only time I'm ever going to touch that man.
I can make anybody's bad day go away.
Yeah, I'm telling you. But that was such a highlight weekend for me. Like, probably one of my favorite shows ever.
The actual highlight one of the highlights for me. Him was one of my favorite bands, obviously. And also another one of my favorite bands is Blink-182. I got to catch them in 2009 whenever they did their reunion tour, like whenever Tom and them, like when Tom first got back together with them, like after their split or whatever. And the tour was, I was actually a little pissy because I missed the dates that Panic at the Disco were on because they opened for them. But I got Fall Out Boy opening for them instead. Now, the underling bands, Asher Roth, the wannabe Eminem, who had the one fucking hit song, and the All-American Rejects. Mm-hmm. The All-American Rejects are the grossest fucking thing I have ever seen. Because the bass player singer is a coked out piece of shit. Mm-hmm. Like, he is the most coked out motherfucker I have ever seen in my life. And you could tell on stage that he absolutely was just out of his fucking mind.
Yeah.
They were trying to like make some of these weird like passes to the crowd. Like, oh, y'all remember this venue? Y'all remember this venue? And everybody there is just like,
no,
we don't really give a shit. Get off the stage.
Why are you here?
Literally everybody was there to see Blink and Fall Out Boy. That was it. Because like Fall Out Boy comes out and just kicks so much ass because they're another one of those bands that transcend being good live as opposed to the studio. Mm-hmm. Now Blink comes out and they are just having a fucking time of their lives. Like, Tom and Mark are cracking jokes to each other. The drum solo was amazing. Odin's going fucking nuts, mosh pitting everywhere. It's amazing. Like, it was a great show.
He just knows like the actual good artists.
He's like, yeah, I'm going to stand up and walk around every time there's a good artist that gets mentioned. Circle mosh, circle pit in the cage.
Spin.
That's it. But anyway, I remember one of the lines that Tom said. It made me fucking die because this was around the time that, Jesus Christ.
Crashing the show.
This is around the time I think that Barack Obama got elected president. So he just yells out loud that he would go down on Barack Obama while he was going down on Oprah Winfrey.
Oh my God.
And it was the most outlandish shit. And it was so, you could tell he was drunk, but he was like, they were on point. They didn't fuck up anything and they sounded perfect live. And it was just funny because that's that banter I'd always wanted to see live. And I missed them before they broke up the first time.
It's like you go down on somebody and then that person goes down on somebody and then that person goes down on somebody. Everybody's going down on somebody.
And I'm going to be swinging on dick.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a highlight for me just to be able to see them with the original lineup. Like I have yet to see them with Matt Skiba, although I do want to go see that. Mm-hmm. But I'm happy that I got to see them with Tom.
Right.
A slew of other bands like that. I'd probably like just offhandedly. I've seen Newfound Glory with Yellow Card.
Which I remember you told me how great that show was.
Oh, it's fucking awesome. Thursday's drummer was in on that one for Yellow Card set. Then I saw Yellow Card's Ocean Avenue acoustic show, and Jeff Rickley from Thursday opened. I've seen the Ataris. I have seen Skinny Puppy, industrial band. Badass. Yeah. Ogre is the front man. Dude was amazing in Repo's Genetic Opera too. So, but anyway, that's the slew of that shit and other shit because I have like a giant 3-way round robin of bands from the same fucking label. I mean, and most of those you and I went to.
Yeah, I was about to say 2 of the shows we went to together. The one that we went to, the first one we went to was the Fall Out Boy, Paris, and AWOL, right? That was the first one we went to.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is a great story for you guys.
So we went into this show mainly to see Fall Out Boy in Paris because I had to introduce Richie to Paris because he never heard of them, and he had to introduce me to Fall Out Boy. Even though I knew them, I didn't know of their new stuff, their recent stuff. So we both got hyped for the different bands and everything like that. And then we heard about AWOL Nation. And there was a huge just like droll of just, like, can we not have that in there? Can we just take it out?
Yeah, because Paris opens and they come out and they beat the shit out of everything. Not like literally, but you're hyped as fuck. They're really great band. Yeah. Great songs and great singing, musicianship, everything. And it's a good show, good tunes. And then AWOL Nation comes out with which they're known for Sail, but God, it was a fail that night. And every night, AWOL Nation just sucked the life completely out of this fucking crowd.
We swore to each other, okay, when they come on, we're going to the merch because there's no reason for us to sit here and endure this.
Yeah.
So we ended up going in the merch line, and we're literally timing by listening to each song. Okay, which song they're on?
Yeah, because I Googled their fucking set list from the tour, so I could know who was doing like what songs. So that's how we kept up with it.
Because they had a huge line of people in the merch. So we knew they had the exact same theory that we had. We're just going to wait it out and, get our shit done before, Fall Out Boy comes on. Which, oh my God, Fall Out Boy just nails it out of the park.
This is in New Orleans, mind you guys. So this was a party waiting to happen, okay?
Yeah.
What tour was this for? Was this American Beauty, American Psycho?
No, this is the one before it, I think.
No, this was American Beauty, American Psycho.
Okay, yeah. Like, my memory's all shot.
No, you're good.
I just remember singing 4th of July, like, fucking, like, fist in the air.
Fireworks.
Anthem. Yes. Just amazing. I love that song so much.
I love that album.
I mean, Uma Thurman,
Immortals. All the fucking songs on that when they played live. I was really excited for Novocaine.
Oh, yeah.
Ah, yes.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Sorry. I was having flashbacks.
Yeah, he literally glistened with like joy in his face for a second. Novocaine.
Now, I had seen Fall Out Boy obviously at Warped, Blink, this show, but I also saw them by themselves on the Save Rock and Roll tour where 21 Pilots and Panic at the Disco opened for them. I didn't get the full Panic experience. Fall Out Boy, I saw them. Great fucking show as always. And then I saw them again when they toured with Paramore. Both great. I've seen Paramore 3 times. Awesome fucking set. My first Panic at the Disco concert was at the House of Blues in Houston on the Too Weird to Live, Too Rare to Die tour. Fucking amazing. Now, my first actual, and I say actual because I feel like this was a goddamn religious experience. My first time seeing Panic at the Disco, how I should have always fucking seen them, was with Weezer.
Weezer, and I can't remember the opening act's name, but it doesn't matter.
Andrew McMahon
and the Wilderness?
Yeah, I think that was it.
Something like that.
Watch it not even be McMahon. I think I'm fucking somebody.
Andrew somebody and the Wilderness. I just remember the Wilderness name because I thought the artwork was pretty cool. But I wasn't a big Weezer fan as much as everybody else in the group until I saw them live. They do a fantastic job live. Like, just no questions.
Weezer have more than earned their legend status. I'm sorry if you don't agree. Like that.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. You fucking tell him.
Woo! He just Ric Flaired that. Woo!
He's just remembering the Ratitude album with the dog on the cover jumping off.
True. But yeah, like, was it Scooter? Is the lead singer?
No, you're thinking of Cold.
Rivers, right. I pointed out to y'all that I was like, yeah, he's closing his eyes every time he sings a set. And then you pointed out to me that, he has the thing with being in groups and crowds. And
He's
stuff.
got anxiety being on stage.
Yeah. So I didn't know about him. So I thought that was pretty interesting. But then my religious experience at the same time was seeing Panic live because Brendan Urie by himself just is more than enough. Like
he's a showman's showman.
He's so like phenomenal. Just everything he does is just gold. But when he did Queen's Bohemian Rhapsody, it was just nobody can touch Queen except for him. Like, he is that pure. And it was so well done, so beautiful to hear him on the piano. Just, I can't even put it into more words like how great that show was.
He absolutely did encompass like Freddie Mercury that night.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not to take anything away from Queen because I'm sorry, but there's never going to be a band like Queen before or ever again.
No.
But Brendan Urie's Panic at the Disco that night, and in particular since then, have just been nothing but just stellar with performance and musicianship.
Mm-hmm.
Full horn section, just everything, dude. It was great. I felt like I was seeing like a Vegas show, honestly.
That was the Death of the Bachelor album?
Yes.
Yeah.
Great fucking album, dude.
I mean, the last few albums have been pretty stellar, so yeah.
Yeah, the last 3 have, I mean, I love all their shit except for Pretty Odd. Like, I really don't like that album, but all their shit is just, fuck yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think, was that the last rock show that we went to together?
And then we started seeing the EDM shit.
Which, like, you could listen to, well, yeah, like at least 2 episodes of our podcast.
Well, 3.
3,
now.
yeah. I was going to say, you could listen to 3 episodes of our podcast and get a full review on it. But, just personally sitting here and talking about everything else that we may have forgotten about.
No,
like,
4. Because Pegboard Nerds, Haywire.
That's right. Okay.
The Tokyo Machines episode, and then Drulu.
Yeah. So, because we didn't really do an episode on Haywire. So, But like going to see Pegboard Nerds, that first like that was my first like time seeing an EDM artist at all, but let alone somebody that we both like heavily are influenced by and just in general.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about one of the more like cut loose and just have fun shows and not worry about mosh pits and stupid motherfuckers, because like EDM has a completely different vibe to it altogether, musically and live.
Right.
Nothing but love in a crowd all the time.
It's not so much like tame in a bad way. It's tame to where it's enjoyable experience, where you don't have like this expectation to be trampled or slammed or put in a fist fight with somebody or have like 20 people just beating the shit out of each other in front of you. No, it's, yeah. You go there, you enjoy the experience, you have fun, you still release the energy that they put out into you to let out, basically. Like, it's just that clean, that pure of an experience for us.
Fuck yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the chillest one out of that whole group was the Haywire tour, because the first the first guy was Bulk and Bump.
Okay, now that we're on a podcast, let's cut loose.
Bulk and Bump, first off, he drinks LaCroix water. Big no in our book.
Yeah. I think that's the first thing we noticed too.
Yeah, because I literally elbowed just like, dude, you see what he's drinking? Your face just went like...
Yeah, because I was like, I wonder what this guy's all about. I've never heard about him. I looked up, saw 2 cans of LaCroix, and I was like, fuck this guy.
Second of all, Arabian trap music.
Picture this, if you will.
A horn section or a trumpet section with trap music.
And he plays the fucking thing live.
The music studio-wise is okay to a degree. Watching him perform is actually like embarrassing.
Can we talk about the one horn? I don't know what you call it, like a tune or riff or whatever. About the one thing he plays.
Burr.
That's what it sounds like.
Like, I could literally be just like drinking LaCroix water and eating Popeyes at the same time. Like,
dude,
I feel like I should have.
He just like turns it up and pours it into the horn, and just like you just hear.
You could choke a chicken and it sound better.
I could choke my chicken and it would sound better.
Yeah, I did not feel this dude's vibe at all. And whenever I heard his studio music, it was just, like I said, it was a lot better than this shit, but it wasn't good
by
music.
much.
It wasn't good music to me, period. But again, the main guy we went seeing was Martin Haywire. Okay, I freaked out about this guy since day one that I found him in 2013, 2014, I think it was. He is a piano like mastermind genius. Like he's so gifted with a keyboard and piano. That's literally the best way that I can describe him. The best thing that I can recall about his set was they had the camera angle from the backstage. You can see the screen was focusing on his hands on the keyboard. Because if you see any of his videos of him like doing just, little spoof videos or like, I'm going to cover this song real quick, let me play it for you. They always do the camera angle of the first person where it's actually playing on the keyboard. And you get to see just how fluid and how rapid his hands work. And it just sounds so beautiful. Like, it looks beautiful and it sounds beautiful at the same time.
He's like classically trained pianist and like could play like that fucking coffee shop smooth jazz on a piano.
But he does that glitch hop infusion, which makes it sound so fucking dope, man.
Yeah, it's fucking good, man. It's basically, for me, whenever the funk aspect of it comes in, it's just kind of like a souped up Chromeo, but if you add like that cool guy jazz kind of shit to it, it's fucking good.
But yeah, like we only paid like I think $13 a piece for that show. I would say it was probably worth at least more than that, like $50 maybe, because he alone is just an icon for EDM to me. On the other hand, as much as I like Grammatic, I wasn't feeling the vibe when he came live, or basically when they came live. I'm sorry, they were not as visually appealing to me
or engaging, honestly.
No, because they were literally just standing there like a good for 10-15 minutes of the show that they started. And I looked at Richie, I was like, honestly, I'm kind of tired and bored.
Yeah, so we pieced out.
Yeah.
That leads us to when we actually started doing this full time again, just a little over a year ago. In April. Was it a little over a year ago?
Yeah, it was a year ago from the
19th.
The pegboard.
Yeah, so we go to see Pegboard Nerds. after that concert, which we did a review on. But then after that, we did a year from Pegboard. We came back to see Delta Heavy, No Taker, and Tokyo Machine,
which A1
all the way around. There's really nothing more to be said about that than if you just go fucking listen to that episode. It was like episode 16 or 15 or some shit like that.
And that's where I met our Yeet Master Trey for the first time.
Yeah, and you got to hear him on our Drulu episode whenever we went to fucking Atlanta. Let's talk about that, because, I mean, honestly, we could sit here and talk about those other three dudes all the fucking day. That fucking concert was a lot of fun. And I would say, like, more the road trip aspect of it now, just because we talked about the concert itself. But let's not, forget that Drulu, Tales, and Fitch put a fucking great show on.
Which I had no idea about Fitch, so I was not knowledgeable about what was going to happen when I heard him. And he was really good.
Yeah, he threw down.
Yeah, he threw down hard. Like, he was basically, okay, Tails open, and then it was like Tails music, but harder. It was like dubstep harder.
Yeah, it was this really nasty, like, glitched up, like, drum step shit. It was so dirty, and it was fucking wonderful. But then he would just throw these fucking curveballs where it was just a real smooth, clean sound, and then he just hits you in the fucking nutsack with a dirty-ass drop. It's like, fuck, dude. And then like Drulu's shit is normally kind of like soft sounding on record, but live it's just got some extra oomph to it because the drums are everything.
They're like jazzed up and like energetic and goofy whenever they're like popping up and down on the stage and stuff like that.
They're like a lighter hearted Pegboard nerds in my mind.
Yeah. But I mean, they're more future based than, electronic or electro or dubstep that they are. But yeah, they're fantastic. I mean, I was more excited about Tails than anybody because I first heard Ghosted. I was initially like hooked on him since that point. And I recall listening to all of his music from day one that he started. And I was just like, okay, this dude is one of my tops because he has it's future based glitch hop and it's just warbly, just like an experience in a way. Mm-hmm. It's really good. So
the trip there and back, though, it was like a 9-hour drive there and a 9-hour drive back.
Mm-hmm.
And we thank fuck that we had a hotel room, but a few things about the trip. First off, we've talked about this on the other show, but goddamn, so many like lawyer billboards, it was insane. So many like random dance moves to other passerbys on the interstate.
There was at least like 22 different attorneys, I think it was.
Yeah, so many.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the elevator not working.
Yeah.
We ran down, what floor were we on?
The 13th or 12th. It was like one of the top ones.
Let's run down every flight of fucking stairs.
Yeah, because like we were so hyped up to go to the show that we were like hopping over like sets of stairs just to get like quicker to go there. But going up, it was like, nope.
Yeah, because it fucked my legs up by the time we got out of the Drulu show. My legs were just like, hey, dude, you fuck your fat ass, okay?
You pretty much had to work out for a whole week right there.
I really did, dude. And then not to mention the fact that we played hell trying to find where the fucking venue was at in this godforsaken, same brick color designed, long-ass 2-block long building.
Yeah. It was like a studio within the whole section. It's like, where is this? Well, we found the studio. Here's the back entrance. Now, how is the front entrance looking?
Dude, that food that we had afterwards was so good. Cookout.
And it was cheap, too.
Dude, fuck yeah.
It was like $5 for that whole like mess of awesome.
Yeah, like I got this like, it should have given me a heart attack, dude. It was just this giant fucking double bacon cheeseburger with nacho cheese, bacon, onion straws, and fries. And a drink. Free refills. It's like $4, $4 or $5 for the whole combo. I about shit a brick.
It's like, where's this shit at in Louisiana?
Right. But no, the trip back though, we were talking about like long ass road trips way earlier. That made me laugh because like, dude, me and you were getting like, because Trey just like kept conking in and out of sleep in the back seat, but me and you were just like delirious as shit.
Yeah, we went from, I think we started on jazz music. And then ended up on like 90s alternative and like emo music to like metal. And it was just like a long transition of like different genres of music. Like all three of us were just geeking out over like, oh, hey, have you heard of this band? No, I haven't. Play it. Oh my God, I'm such a fan. This is awesome.
Yeah. How was it? Awesome.
Awesome.
So, yeah, I guess that kind of ties this whole thing together pretty well. Like we ended the rock show, like we started like rock concerts, went to EDM, and then kind of rounded it out and listened to rock music eventually on the way back from it, which was also like a little bit of the synthwave shit too on the synthwave stations. But
right.
I think that should be like one of our next goals is to go to like a good synthwave show.
The Fixed Media, I mean, we probably could talk to them and see if there's anybody touring around here. Because I know LeBrock is pretty much touring all of Europe, so...
Yeah, I'd like to go see them. I'd like to see the Bad Dreamers. I'd like to see Ace Marino. I'd really like to see Pilot, obviously. Yeah, the Midnight, absolutely would love to see the Midnight. I would like to see maybe Gunship, maybe I don't fucking know, dude. So many different bands. I'd love to see like Laserhawk and shit like that too.
Mhm.
Bunch of fucking bands. Yeah.
Definitely have to keep an eye out for one of them.
Yeah.
Or all of them.
But yeah,
Preferably all of them.
Yeah, no shit. But yeah, that's I think that's all I have, dude. Like I had a shit ton of like bands written down that I'd forgotten that I'd even talked about before or went to, and that's kind of neat, like going down memory lane and just remembering all that shit. There's been a lot of alcohol over the years.
It was funny because like the more we talked, the more concerts I remember I went to, and I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about that shit.
Right? So I think that's it for me, dude.
Yeah, same here.
Super Media Bros.
That was kind of a mind-blowing memory lane trip. Holy shit. Thank you guys so much for listening this week. We're going to be coming back strong next week, starting with our Spooky Media Bros content for October. We've been waiting for this for a long time. And we're going to be kicking it off with a Cult Cinema Showdown, TerraVision versus the Video Dead. So be sure to stick around and check that out. We're going to have great content coming the entire month of October. So light up the jack-o'-lanterns, get the skulls, get the candy, get all that shit. Get it fucking ready. We're going hard, baby. So until next week, I've been Midnight Agent Raw. And for Okami, shades on, we're off.